Hello, this is Bloomfield Analysis and our tutorial on how to use the job sheet template, which is free to download on bloomfieldanalysis.com. And this is the job sheet template that we're going to show you how to personalize and make your own. In fact, we're going to show you how to link to your data, how to change the job sheet to a quote, how to personalise, calculate mileage, update prices and set permissions. So first of all, let's link the data in the job sheet to your database. Here is the job sheet template, which is in Google Sheets. You can have it in Excel, but the only part that won't work because it requires Google is the distance calculation here. The job sheet is joined to the database here. This database template uses columns A to H and rows 1 down to 13. Yours can be, and probably will be, much bigger than this. We have some standard columns, so we have customer name, and we have customer contact information. The main column to note is this job number. The job number needs to be a unique identifier. So for each row, it needs to be a unique number. You can have the same customers, you can have the same email addresses multiple times, but you need to have a different number for each of these job numbers in order for this job sheet to work. And let's go over to the job sheet to see how it does work. So in this job sheet is this job number, which you can change, and it will feed through all of the other information. It does this using this internal number here. So when you change the job number here, what this internal number does is it looks up, it matches that number that you've put in here with what is in column C, and it tells you what row it's in. So job number 2, if we go to the database, job number 2 here is in row 4, and that's Clint, Barton, Hawkeye and Quincy Street. So when we're on number 2, we're looking at row 4, and then the client name was in column B and it's looking at row 4. The client phone number was in column F and it's looking at row 4. Email address is in column D, and if you want to change any of these, this is what you need to do. You just need to change what column it is up here. So instead of client name, maybe you wanted to know the status, that's column H, so you would put in H here and status here. Next, we're going to show you how to turn your job sheet into a quote. We can also change whether we have a job sheet or a quote by changing the job number here, because this job sheet will link to the status column, which is in column H. So right now we have a job sheet. If we go over to the database, all these jobs will have job sheets. However, these are currently quotes. So if we put in any of the job numbers from 8 to 12, we will turn our job sheet into a quote sheet. So if we take Thor's number, job number 8, over to here, we can see we now have a quote. Adding your logo, changing the font, the colours and the contact information will make your job sheet yours. You can easily personalise. For instance, let's change the logo. So insert a image over the cells. Let's have a look for the Avengers logo. This A in here. click on it and then move it. There you go. And then let's change the text color and the color of the background. That's a bit too fun to be the Avengers, so let's change the font. There you go. Looking a little bit more Avengers-like. Don't forget to also, down the bottom, change your bank account details and your contact details. We will show you how to calculate mileage between your office and the job destination. Back to the Bloomfield Analysis job sheet, because that's much more fun. We're going to look at changing the mileage. So the distance here, this is based on looking at two cells, the cell of the origin and the destination. We are comparing the distance between what is in here, cell B12, with what is in the contact information down here, which is in cell B47. Comparing what's in B12 and what's in B47, we're looking at the driving distance between these two places, and then that will give us a figure in meters. So then we have another function called meters to miles. And as I said at the beginning, these are kind of new functions, so you won't be able to have these in Excel unless you create a macro or something to do that. What we've done is we've used Google Apps Script, which you can access in here. So you go to extensions, App Script, and this has got the code that converts, that kind of calculates the distance for us. If we start from the bottom, the first function that we create is called get directions, and then you feed into this the origin and the destination, and then this looks up on Google Maps and it asks us to find a new direction and provide us with this the kind of the directions. So once we've got the directions using this function, what we do is we actually put them into another function which is called the driving distance. So the driving distance is actually get the directions and provide just the value, which is the distance in meters. And then another function, meters to miles, will convert the driving distance in meters into a driving distance in miles. Updating pricing in one place will feed through to your job sheet or your quote. The pricing works with what's called a dependent drop-down. So you have a first drop-down, which includes things like the call-out, the travel cost, additional time, destruction and casualties. So if we choose destruction, this second drop-down depends what's on that first one. So destruction, we have a house, an office block, a city, a planet. You can then put a quantity in here. The next drop-down, you may want casualties, and you could have men, women, children. We have put in a couple of figures here. You can put in as many as you desire. And these all come from the pricing tab. And this is where you can update and have whatever you'd like to in the first drop down and then the second drop down. So we could add to original drop downs, so casualties, we could add pet dogs and then add a price in here, or we can add new drop downs. You can have as many as you wish. So we could have transport, a ship, another transport, we could have a boat, and we could have the prices for those in here like that. And then when we move back over to the job sheet, if we look at some casualties, it now has the option to have pet dogs, and we could also have the option to add transport, and we'll add 10 ships were destroyed. And there you go. That is how it updates, and what you need to do, you just change any of these cells in here. And if you would like to know more details about exactly how drop downs work and why we need additional kind of text that you don't need to change over here on the right, then I'll add a link in the description to how drop downs work, dependent drop downs. You can set permissions so that some of your worker bees can change only certain cells and only an admin bee can change all of them, avoiding any accidental mistakes. In order to set permissions, you need to go to Data and then Protect Sheets and Ranges. You'll then have something coming up on the right, which I'll move over so you can hopefully see. And what we want to do is we want to add a sheet that needs protection. So click on sheet because you want to protect the whole sheet except certain cells. So the cells that you want anyone to be able to change are likely to be the job number. So B6, so select B6. At another range, you'll probably want them to be able to change any of the drop downs, including a quantity, but not the price or the cost, because that has formula in there which you don't want them to ruin. And then so update that range, okay. But in case they want to add some things that aren't in the drop downs, you probably want to give them another range down here, which does include the price so that they can add in different prices down here. Click that, okay, and then you want to set the permissions, which it's not letting me do because I've already got it on there. So we go to the area here where it says change permissions, so you can say you can either show a warning when editing this range or restrict who can edit that range, and we really want to restrict rather than show the warning. And then you can custom change who can edit, so restrict who can edit. I can edit everything, but I'm not allowing my personal Gmail account to edit anything at all. So you can add in additional people that are able to edit and those that can only have restricted access in here. Okay, and that's it for changing permissions. Thank you for watching this demo on how to use the job sheet template. Go to bloomfieldanalysis.com if you would like to download the templates. Also subscribe if you want to see when more videos come up. Leave a comment on YouTube if you want to find out any more information, or send us an email if you have any questions, and it'll be great to hear from you. Thank you very much. Bye.